Hello, my students. Welcome back. I'm Ellie, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of spelling rules. That's right. Okay. I've lost the share screen. There it is. So welcome back. I hope that you found part 1 useful and that it has already helped you with your spelling. Now, today we'll do part 2, and we're going to finish all of the rules today. So there's 13 rules that we'll be talking about in total, and we have 7 more to talk about today. Now, before we begin, I do have some announcements. And the first one is that there's a time change for next week's live stream. So next week, Wednesday, August 16th, I'm going to be doing a live stream at 1:15. Now I'll do a short video or a short video announcing that live stream, and you'll see that it says 1:15. That's because my student has come back from their vacation and I've had to change the time. Okay, so that's the first announcement. Now the second thing I want to show you is if you're writing in Word, I want to show you how to change the Word program into English, which will help with spelling as well, because there is something called spell check. I'm not that great of a speller. If I'm honest, if I were to sit down with pen and paper, there are some things that I still can't spell, or it takes me some time to think about how to spell it. But I'm not the greatest speller, if I'm honest with you. But spell check has made me a better speller. So I've noticed that my spelling has improved over time because of spell check. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, now I'm not that bad of a speller. I know how to spell hello and how are you. But this is an example. The red line means that there's a spelling mistake. Now, here's how we can change the dictionary. If you go down to the bottom, you should see a little book with an X on it. Okay. Now, if you click on that, it pulls up this window. If you click on language, you can set the language, and you can choose the language you want to write in. And that's going to be your dictionary. So I have it in English. And you can do spell check, and you can see where the spelling mistakes are. You can change it here, or you can change it in the document. So I could change it here. I could just type in R. Oops, R. I could change it here. Or if you right click on the mouse, there are some suggestions for you to choose from. Now, most of you probably know that. What I have found is that a lot of students don't know that you can change the language. So let's try something here. I'm going to spell center with the British pronunciation or British spelling. Now, oddly enough, it's not showing as an error. It should have. I don't know. Did I accidentally change it to British English? Let's see. No. Okay. So oddly enough, it's showing British spelling and American English spelling. But if you notice that the spelling is wrong and you know it's American spelling or you know that it's British spelling, you can ignore it. But that's how you change your dictionary, and that will help with spelling as well. But if you're not using spell check, then this is the video for you, because this will help you with writing in English. A lot of students still have to write papers longhand. We call that longhand when you write something with pen and paper. We call that longhand. So when you write it out, this video will help. Okay, let me switch this back to our board and we'll get started. Okay, now remember, you can go to englishfunzone.com and click on that live events tab, and it will show you the calendar of all the events that I'll be doing live and doing lives and live streams. Where are we? Here we are. So Monday, I told you about this rule. This is the rule. This is the rule we looked at on Monday about double L and double F, right? So today we're going to start with the next rule, which is double S. Okay, so usually the letter S is also usually doubled at the end of a single syllable word. Now Monday we talked about syllables and how to find them, right? So a single syllable is one, the letter, it's doubled. And there are more exceptions for S than with F and L. Yay! Don't you just love English? It's so much fun. Okay. So we've got some words like pass, less, miss, toss, cuss. So those end in double S, right? The exceptions to the rule are words that end with S that's pronounced as a Z, like Z, okay? So we have like was, his, okay? So we don't use double S if the S sounds like a Z, right? The other exception is with plural nouns or plural words that end in S that only have one S. So for example, cats, dogs. So if it's a plural, it's only one S. I think most of you know that as well. Burgers. Okay, next one. The present tense verbs that end with an S only have one. So now remember, a verb is action. Action. Something that you can do, right? Action. So we have something like words like dances, sings, climbs, right? Now be careful, that B is silent in the word climb. And I did a video on silent letters. That might be a video you're interested in. Climbs. But again, you only use one S with those verbs. Present tense verbs. Only one S. The next one, yes, there are more. Oh, the next exception. I warned you. I said there was going to be more than the double F and double L. This one says words that have three or fewer letters only have one. We have three or less, right? So we have gas, right? GAS, three. Yes, Bus, right? Only one S. That one's useful to know because a lot of students want to spell bus, B-U-S-S. But if they know the rule, oh, 3 letters, only one S, right? Bus. Okay. Let's look at the next rule. Here's the next one. Now, I've done a video on silent E, and you might find that video helpful as well. Again, I'll post the links in the description box below so you can look or watch those videos, okay? Number 8 is drop the silent E before most suffixes. But before we talk about this, we should talk about the suffixes and prefixes. Okay, so many words with silent E, when adding a suffix that starts with a vowel, silent E should usually be removed in American English. We're talking American English, remember. So if we look at race, race becomes racing, okay? So the suffix is the thing that goes at the end of the word, right? So if you hear the word suffix, S-U-F-F-I-X, that's something that is added to the end, that suffix. Prefix is something that is at the beginning of a word, of the root word. Oh, love that root word. Okay, so we have race, and the suffix, ing, racing, bake, suffix, ed, past tense, baked, right? We drop that E. It's not B-A-K-E-E-D. We drop the E and just add the ed suffix. Okay. So get familiar with these exceptions. And then once you get familiarized with those, then you'll be able to decide whether to drop the silent E or keep the E. You'll get used to it. The other thing is, as I've always said, is reading helps. So here are the exceptions to this rule. Yes, there are exceptions to this rule. Oh, joy. So keeping the silent E. Keep silent E when adding A-B-L-E, able, able. We don't say able, it's able, right? Able. So manageable, manageable. Okay, so if you're adding able, A-B-L-E, at the end of a word, and there's a silent letter, in the root word, like we have in manage, that's a silent E, you just add the A-B-L-E. Keep the E. Okay, are you ready for the next exception? Yes, you are. The next one is keep the silent E when a word ends with 2 E's. 2 E's. So we have the example, flee. Yeah, run away, flee, to run away. We keep both E's here and we add the suffix ing, fleeing, fleeing. Oh, look, they're fleeing. They're running away. All right. So here's the next one. Yes, there's another one. The suffix y is a special case. Oh dear, another special case. So we have, when we have y, the silent E is removed for words like shiny, but kept with dicey. I don't know why. Remember on Monday I said that English steals from other languages? This is why we have this. So again, you just have to get used to which words keep the E and which words drop the E. So Y, when you're spelling a word that has Y at the end, you have to think, do I keep it? And then you might have to look it up in the dictionary if you're not sure whether to keep that E. Okay, so yay for Y. All right, here's rule, no more exceptions. That's the end of those exceptions. Yay. The next one is rule number 9. Rule number 9. Okay. And that's when a word ends in Y, change the Y to I when adding a suffix. Okay. So this one is one of those common rules, but it also has exceptions. I know. More exceptions. So we have easy, we drop the Y, easiest. Happy, drop the Y, happier. And we change that Y to I, right? Easiest, I-E-S-T, happier, I-E-R. But what are the exceptions to the rule? Well, I'm now about to tell you what that exception is. Well, I should say exceptions. Those exceptions are, yes, there's more than one. More than one exception. So the first exception is keep the Y if a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, if the vowel comes before it. Okay, so we have play. Do you see the A, A-E-I-O-U? It's an A, vowel. Play, suffix is E-R, player. Joy, O-Y, suffix, joyful. Okay, that one's fairly easy to remember, I think. The second exception is keep the Y if adding the suffix ing. Again, another easy one to remember. If the word ends in Y, you're just going to keep the Y, right? Studying, crying. So you're going to keep the Y. So that's an easy one to remember. And that's it. Only 2 exceptions for Y. Yay. let's look at number 10. Now, remember, I told you about suffix being at the end. Prefixes are at the beginning of the root word. Oh, yay. Okay. So the word A-L-L, or all, has 2 L's at the end. Okay, it has 2 L's at the end. So we have tall, we have two L's when written by itself. But the prefix AL has only 1 L. So if it's at the end of a word, it's 2 L's, right? So ALL, all, would be tall, ELL, fell, TOL, toll, okay? But if the L is at the beginning, it's 1. So also, 1 L. All together, 1 L. Always, 1 L. So if it's in the beginning, the prefix, it's 1 L. Okay. Right. Okay. So I want to clarify prefixes and suffixes. A prefix, as I've said, is a word that's added to the beginning, right? And it changes the word's meaning. And a suffix is a word part added to the end of a word, and it also changes the word's meaning. So it can change the word's meaning, right? I just wanted to clarify that. Now, I've done videos. I'm going to post them in the description box below on prefixes and suffixes. I've done several videos on prefixes and suffixes, so check those out. Okay. No exceptions to that rule. So let's go to number 11. So number 11, prefixes generally don't change the spelling. Okay. So if you have the word activate, right, to start something, activate, and deactivate to stop it. We add D in the beginning. We haven't changed the word activate. So it's deactivate. And we have fiction, and it changes to nonfiction. Okay. Every once in a while, I'm looking over to see if we have anyone joining us. And we had a couple people come in. So hello. I'm focusing on my notes, and then I have to every once in a while look this way to see if you're out there watching me live and to see if you have any questions. Okay, no questions so far. Great. So this rule is fairly simple, right? The rule for adding prefixes is a lot easier and simpler than adding suffixes. Yay! As far as spelling goes. Generally, adding a prefix to a word does not change the correct spelling. So adding DE to activate results in deactivate, right? And non is nonfiction. Okay. So that's for prefixes. No exceptions to the rule there. Here's the next one. This one's on apostrophes. Now apostrophes, that's that little boop, a little mark up here. That's an apostrophe. 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 Proper apostrophe placement, putting it in the right place, in contractions is an important part of spelling. Okay, please, my students, when you are writing contractions, do not put a space. So many of my students, when they're writing longhand, when they're writing, they try to put a space. They put the apostrophe, space, T. No, there aren't any spaces. It's CAN apostrophe T, no space. So don't put a space. Don't separate it. It's a word. Put it together. Okay, be careful. So place it correctly. An apostrophe should be placed right in that exact spot. And that's because it's letting everyone know that there's a missing word or missing letter or letters. It's not a word, it's letters. So in the case of cannot, it's, if I were to write it out, it'd be CANNOT, right? Some people would separate it, CAN space NOT. So you can write cannot that way, or you can make it one word. So you'll see it both ways. That's fine. But the apostrophe is letting you know that there are some letters missing. Same thing with do not. It's two words, do and not. And that apostrophe is saying, well, it's missing a letter, right? It's missing O. And again, no spaces. I know that when you write do and not, it's two, but when you write don't, you put all the words or all the letters together, right? It's DON apostrophe T. Okay. Same thing with he had, he'd, right? It's missing, it's missing H and A. Okay. So that should help you with those contractions. Okay. Here we are with the next one. And again, no exceptions with apostrophes. They are what they are. The last one says, do not end a word with V or J, right? We don't have any words with V or J at the end. Okay? At least there are no commonly used words that end with V or J. If you're spelling a word that ends with V, a V sound, you can be sure that there is a silent E on the end of the word, like hive, live, or live, depending on the use of the word, right? This one's tricky. Students say, well, we have live or live. When do I say it, right? Well, I say, I live, right, here. I'm doing this lesson live. If you're watching me now, you're watching me live. Whoops. Okay, so most of the time it'll be live, unless you're talking about someone doing it in real time, like I'm doing it now. So be sure that if the word if it sounds like V at the end, it's going to be VE. Words that end with a J sound are typically spelled with DGE. Now we're talking about sound here, right? J. You're talking about the sound that you hear. It sounds like J. Words like judge, judge. So JUDGE is judge. And it makes the J sound at the end. So we have judge. There we go. So if you hear a J sound at the end of a word, like edge, it won't be J, it'll be DGE. It'll sound like J, but it will be DGE. You know, it's really difficult to put all of the rules and exceptions into a full list. It's nearly impossible. English is always changing, but these are the basic rules for spelling in American English. Now, you can look for 100 misspelled words at EnglishFunZone.com under English Corner. You'll find a list for commonly misspelled words. And hopefully that list will help you with the correct spelling of those words. Now, again, the link is in the description box below. The other thing to remember is that reading things in English will help with spelling and grammar too. I post stories every Friday, as you know, and sometimes you'll see the mouth positions and other Fridays you won't, because I want you to improve your listening skills as well. Now, the stories are short. I do have a few stories that are longer. Some students like to listen to stories, and listening in listening to English helps with listening comprehension. So I know that some of those stories aren't the most interesting. I understand that, but I'm limited to certain things that I can post on YouTube. And it's difficult to find things that you might find interesting. And I try to do things that, well, you might find interesting, you know, that you might say, huh, I didn't know that, or that's a cute story. The focus is build your vocabulary, improve your grammar, and your listening comprehension. If you have a suggestion or a recommendation for something that you're interested in, or a topic that you're interested in, I can try to find stories based on those topics. Just let me know in the comment section below. If you have any questions about English, you can post those in the comment section below. And don't forget, Wednesday, next week, it's going to be at 1:15, that's Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be doing a live stream. I still don't know what that live stream is going to be. I wish I could tell you. My hope was to be able to say, we're going to do this next week. I don't know. There's so much. There's so much I could teach you. And to pick something that will suit a wider range of levels. You know, I've got students who are basic and intermediate and advanced. They're like, what do I post? So it'll be good. I hope you'll find it interesting anyway. But check the calendar at englishfunzone.com, and I'll post the live stream there on that site. I will also do a short and post that probably on Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday, to let you know what the topic's going to be. Now, next Monday, I'm posting a video about metaphors and similes. It's a quiz to the video to the live stream I did last week on metaphors and similes. And if you haven't watched that live stream, watch the metaphors and similes, and then on Monday, watch the video and test yourself and see if you can see which is which. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. You have all 13 rules. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here for you. And thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for sharing this video to help other students as well. Okay, my students, until next time, please keep practicing. Bye.